Good evening. I have 6 o'clock. Mr. McLean, are you ready to go on the record?
Yes, Your Honor, and we are on the record.
Thank you. I call matter number 21-02182 in the matter of the Commission's broadband study and mapping pursuant to the Broadband Connectivity Act. Good evening and welcome. We're here today for a public statement hearing that was noticed on January 26, 2022. This public statement hearing concerns the Public Service Commission's study and mapping of broadband service, which basically means high-speed internet service. In a minute, we'll have a presentation from Department of Public Service staff about this study and what we're looking to learn from the public. The public statement hearings that we have held today, one at 1 o'clock, and this one will be repeated again at 1 o'clock and 6 o'clock next week on March 3 and 4. These hearings are intended for public input into the study. My name is Greg Sayer. I am an administrative law judge for the Department of Public Service. I'm responsible for presiding over the hearings in this case and any legal procedural issues that might arise. This matter is currently before the Public Service Commission, and the study is being conducted by Department of Public Service staff. The commission consists of 7 members, and we are honored to have 2 of the commissioners online with us today, Commissioner Diane Berman and Commissioner John Majore. Commissioner Berman, would you like to make some remarks?
Yes, thank you so much, Judge. As the judge said, my name is Diane Berman. I'm here tonight virtually. This broadband assessment program public statement hearing is an important one. I've been participating virtually in all of them so far. I look forward to my role tonight as a listener, and I appreciate folks who are coming out, participating and giving their comments. So thank you so much for letting me participate as a listener.
Thank you, Commissioner Berman. Commissioner Majore, would you like to make some comments?
Thank you, Judge Sayer. I echo what Commissioner Berman said about the importance of this process and the items that we're hearing about tonight. And you know, I've joined her in the 3 previous hearings, and I've found that each one I learned something new in each hearing. So I too will listen tonight, and I have no role other than to listen to what people say. And so I would like to thank everyone who's turned out tonight to make their voices heard. Thank you, Judge Sayer.
Thank you, Commissioner Majore. Before we get into the details of the study, I want to explain the other ways you can comment in this matter other than by speaking at these public statement hearings. Let's go to the next slide. If you did not pre-register to speak at one of the hearings, but you would like your views included in the record, there are a variety of other ways to comment that were listed in the public notice for these hearings. Can we move to the next slide, please?
Your Honor, there we are.
Oh, good. For those of you with computer access, we're showing a slide with the other ways to comment. And all of the details are also in the January 26th public notice for this evening's event. You may comment by submitting comments on the department's website, or by email, or by regular mail, or by phone. And staff will explain in a minute how you can participate in the study by completing our broadband assessment and our speed test. Regardless of how the comments are submitted, they will be given equal consideration. Comments may be submitted and will be considered throughout the pendency of this proceeding. However, and you'll be hearing this date again a few times from us, because this study needs to be done in a timely way, we really need your input by March 18th. The Department of Public Staff has recorded a brief presentation explaining this study and the kinds of information we're hoping to get from the public. I yield the floor to staff.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this important public statement hearing on the issue of broadband mapping. My name is Valerie Galasso, and I am the Chief of Public Policy in the Office of Telecommunications at the Department of Public Service. I'd like to kick us off today by sharing some background on our new broadband assessment program, which focuses on the study of high-speed broadband infrastructure in New York State. In April of last year, the legislature passed the Comprehensive Broadband Connectivity Act of 2021. This bill allowed the Department of Public Service to create the Broadband Assessment Program, a program now housed within the agency's Office of Telecommunications. The program, whose work will be updated annually, will release this spring New York's first ever in-depth interactive broadband map detailing the availability and reliability of high-speed broadband infrastructure statewide. We are committed to making this program something that can be used by everyone, but we need your input in order to understand what's happening in your communities. I'd like to tell you a little bit about what mapping broadband looks like and how we're conducting our research. Mapping broadband infrastructure is no small task. That's why we're using a three-pronged approach. First, we're using internet service provider data to help us assess gaps statewide. Second, we're conducting field verification of high-speed infrastructure in the most remote places in New York State. And third, we're hearing straight from the consumer via our broadband assessment survey and through our series of public statement hearings. Some of you are probably wondering what we're hoping to learn from today. We want to hear about your internet accessibility barriers writ large. Among other topics, we're interested in hearing from those of you who are dealing with the following. You lack internet service entirely. Internet is unaffordable to you. You lack ISP competition in your area. And finally, you don't feel like you're getting the speeds that you pay for. Lastly, we have two calls to action. First, we are asking everyone to take our broadband assessment and speed test by March 18th, 2022. You can visit www.empirestateBroadband.com from a home computer, laptop, mobile device, or while visiting a public Wi-Fi location. If you're unable to take the survey due to lack of connectivity, you can call our toll-free broadband assessment line at 1-855-NY-BB-MAP. That's 1-855-692-2627. For those of you who have already completed the survey, thank you. We are proud to report to date we have had more than 17,000 households and businesses from every corner of the state complete this survey, and this number continues to grow. Our final call to action, we want to make every eligible New Yorker aware about the FCC's new Affordable Connectivity Program, also known as the ACP. This program provides discounts up to $30 a month toward internet service. Please visit www.fcc.gov/ACP or call 877-384-2575 for more information and to sign up. Thank you.
And my thanks to Valerie Galasso and Department of Public Service staff for that presentation. Now I will explain the process that we're going to follow this evening. The purpose of our hearing is to provide you with an opportunity to tell the Commission your thoughts on the issues in this proceeding. The statements you make today will become part of the case record. We have a court reporter joining us who will prepare a transcript of the hearing, which will be included in the official record of this proceeding so that your comments can be considered by the Commission. When it is ready, the transcript will be available for view on the Department of Public Service website. This hearing is also being live streamed on the internet. This hearing is not an evidentiary hearing with cross-examination or a question and answer session, but is a forum to hear comments from you. For those of you who have registered to make a statement, we ask that you please summarize any lengthy written statements orally and submit the full written statement by email or mail. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we're holding this public statement hearing virtually. Normally, if this were an in-person public statement hearing, people would be allowed to sign up to make statements as they come into the hearing room and as long as the hearing is going on. But that's difficult to accomplish in this format. And as a result, as stated in the notice of this public statement hearing, we ask people to pre-register if they wish to make a public statement. We only have 2 people signed up so far to speak tonight, and I think we can go straight to the statements. After we call your name, we will unmute your line and we'll let you know you're unmuted. Please remember that if you have put your own telephone line or your computer on mute, you will also have to unmute your line at your end before you begin to speak. Please speak slowly and clearly so that the court reporter can accurately capture your statement for the record. Let's go right into the statements. Our first speaker is Ms. Ruth Moss.
Hi, I am a resident of Westchester County and a strong advocate for safe technology. I'm strongly in favor of broadband accessibility for everyone, as long as it's deployed safely. As it stands now, 5G is not safe because what's being used are close proximity antennas, right up sometimes 10 feet away from a person's home or where children play. The science on this, which comes out of PubMed, not the industry science, says that 2/3 of independent peer-reviewed studies document harm from wireless radiation. So we have to be really careful when we make this accessible, that we also make it safe. The evidence is just overwhelming, and it's been emerging for decades. The science is being covered up by a trillion-dollar industry whose aim is profit and not public health. Regulatory agencies must do their job to protect the public, and that, of course, includes the Public Service Commission. The solution is fiber optic cable to and through the premises, and consumers have paid for this for years in their bills until the bait and switch came from the telecom companies. So, not putting a damper on technology, we're all for it. It just has to be safe, because if people are not remaining well through this, none of that technology will count or matter. So thank you very much for listening, and good luck with this project.
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is Mr. Varun Mehta. I do not see you. If you are on the telephone, please press *3 on your handset. And if you are logged in, perhaps under someone else's account on the computer, please press the raise hand icon so that we can recognize you and you can give your statement. Again, Varun Mehta.
Not seeing any raised hand, Your Honor.
Well, that's the list, which means we have plenty of time this evening. I'd like to give people who did not register in advance an opportunity to speak. For those of you, and I believe that's everyone online right now, who are participating electronically, you'll need to find a little icon on your screen that looks like a bit of a hand, usually around the lower right hand of the screen, although not necessarily quite there. You might have to move your cursor around to make it appear. We're showing a slide right now to indicate how you can find that icon. If you would like to make a statement now at tonight's hearing, please click on that, and Mr. White from our Consumer Services Office will find you in the participant list, call your name, and unmute you, at which point you can give your statement. So again, if you wish to speak now, please click on the raise hand icon.
No raised hands, Your Honor.
In case there is anyone listening in by telephone, although I don't see any in my attendee list, if you did not register and you're on the phone and would like to speak, please press *3 now on your telephone set. Mr. White will find anyone requesting to speak on his screen and will unmute you and let you give your statement. Again, if you're on the phone and want to speak, please press *3.
We had one call-in user, and she's given her statement, Your Honor.
Mr. White, do you see any other requests?
Your Honor, we just had the one call-in user and she's already given her statement. We have no others.
In that case, we can wrap up the hearing. I want to remind members of the public that they may submit public comments throughout this proceeding by the other means described earlier and in the notice of public statement hearing issued on January 26th. But as we explained earlier, we really need to hear from you by March 18th to include your input into the study. I thank the commenter for her participation and presentation. I also thank Commissioners Berman and Majori for participating. Mr. Joseph White from our Consumer Services Office for administering this session, and our court reporter, Anthony McLean. One last call. Do you see anyone else indicating a desire to speak?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
In that case, this hearing is concluded and we will go off the record.
Thank you.
We are off the record.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Stay safe. Have a great evening. And we will now proceed to shut down the live stream and the telephone call. Thank you very much. Good night.
Live stream is ended. Have a good evening, everyone.